at some, I had 400,000 people. You can't even believe it. When you fly over that summit, you see a house, and then 100 miles, another house, 50 miles, another house. And all I kept thinking of, it must suck around Halloween, this son of a bitch. How you gonna trick-or-treat in Montana? You gotta keep going to your house. That ain't no fun, man. Trick-or-treat, yeah, me again. Who's it gonna be? Ain't nobody live for 100 miles. Serious, man. Jump in the wagon train. Let's keep going. Why do we stop here? Very beautiful, but I had to fly in a little plane when I was up there. That's how they get around up there, that little... Anybody ever fly a little plane? Yeah. Right now. And I'm not talking about a commuter plane. I'm talking about that little, you get on the plane, the pilot hands you a wrench, and that rattles tightly kind of plane. On this voyage, you're not just a passenger, you're part of the crew on this shit right here. You're on the first row and the last row at the same time kind of plane. The pilot's right there, you could touch him. You could touch him, no curtain, not just... And sometimes the sound goes... What the hell is that silence? That is the scariest second of your life. Because I don't know shit about aviation, but I know good, not so good. The second I hear that sound, so I'm looking around for people I might have to eat if we go down. Then I realize I'm the one they're going to eat if we go down. They're all looking at me. I used to think they ask you how much you weigh. I thought that was for safety. No, they're just making out the menu in case they crash. Then they call the tower. Don't worry about sending help. We'll be fine for a while. We'll be fine. Just come in the spring. It'll be easier. No, it is for safety. So ladies, you ever on a little plane, they ask you how much you weigh? Be honest. Yes, because this is a plane, not the internet. There's always a delay on that joke for some reason. I always got to wait a second on that joke. I always feel like I'm telling that joke in the United Nations. I got to go through an interpreter first, you know. All the women, they do lie on the internet. I got you there, I know. You see, very smart crowd, you know, it's the United Nations. That's why he speaks this way, sure, yes. You show up to Starbucks, she shows up to Starbucks, you look at their picture, you look at her, you're like, what the fuck happened here? Oh my goodness. You see, joke much funnier with this voice. It's a choice I made for your amusement. There will be several more, just not with this voice. Was that Match.com or the Monster.com? Where did I get that? Okay, I'm going to say something. You guys have to understand. This show is called 40 is not the new 20. I wrote this show for people 40 and above. Not that 27 to 30 people can't enjoy it. But if you're over 40, you definitely have a unique perspective on how we used to do things compared to how we do things now. So I'm going to say something. That internet, that is a crazy way to find a life partner. Would anybody else agree with me in this show? Right? I'm serious. Right? I mean, this generation for sure. Holy shit. You guys probably met at a dance or something, right? But how'd you meet? How'd you meet? At a dance, right? That's how they met. That's how my father met my mother at a dance. That's sweet, right? Next door neighbors, shit like that. High school sweethearts, like you know, I mean, that's how I did. Look how it ends. You know, he's a great guy. And I'm not saying that you cannot meet a great guy on the computer. What I'm saying is you're gonna have to swim through a sea of shit to get to his ass. Is it worth it? You're a woman. Don't put yourself through that. Is it that hard to meet a man in real life? Just go down to the docks with your skirt over your head. I bet you have better luck than the computer. I assure you, you are not finding a good man on the computer. But I know it's normal, though. People ask me all the time, oh, did you meet your wife on the computer? Like, on the computer? I met my wife the old-fashioned way in a bar, like a normal person. The computer? It seemed natural to me. Two people lying to each other on the information super highway. I went to the bar and lied to her face. That seemed more romantic, right? My father got my mother at that dance. She didn't tell all the truth that night, right? But you looked her in the eye when you did it, and that's old school life. Just the lying. I can't believe on the computer. Oh my God. There are Muslim chicks on J-Date. That's all I'm saying. Not everybody gets that joke. That's okay. The Jewish people get that joke. I know not everybody gets that joke, because I was in Nebraska. I told that joke and nobody laughed. Then I realized I was in Nebraska. So I had to explain that J-Date was a Jewish singles website. Still, nobody laughed. And I realized I was in Nebraska, so I had to explain what a Jew was. Yeah, because they don't got it. They don't got it. No. Nobody sues anybody. It's a utopia they're building over there. I'm serious. When you take the lawyers out of the equation, it's a very magical place. No, but I mentioned Jewish people. We have any Jewish people here? Jewish people? Jewish person? Is anybody circumcised? I'll take it tonight. I don't know. Okay, that's it. Just show me the tip. Show me the tip. You could go either way. I'm serious. I suspect you might have a rustic one. It might be rustic. That's what I call the uncircumcised people, rustic, because it look very pioneerish. Don't it look like it should be in a wagon train going across the prairie? That's your second wagon train joke for the evening right there. But the only reason I mention it because I've been up here for like a half hour. I know everybody looking at me trying to figure out what I am. Like we got Latinos. See? Latinos always look at me like maybe I'm Hispanic, and white people just look at me like I know I hate them, but I can't figure out why. Not you white people, but hundreds of others. I'll find you after the show. I'll show you. Look, million years you never guess what I am. I'm a weird-ass combination. The kind of new development in this country in the last 40, 50 years. Because I remember when I was a kid, it always stayed with me. Everybody my father's age, my grandfather's age, older than that, they're always just one thing. Remember when you were just one thing in this country? You ask the guy what he was, he'd be like, I'm Irish, I'm German, I'm Italian, right? Till the 60s. Little free love and good weed will mix this shit up quickly, is all I'm saying. Looking for a catalyst, this might be it right here. Yeah. How you doing over here? Yeah, you ain't so bad, they're talking shit over there, but you know, we'll watch some West Side Story, see what happens. Now you weren't just one thing, now you became two things in the 60s. Now you weren't just Irish, you were Irish and German, and that must have been a very quiet household to grow up in, sure. Imagine very peaceful, very relaxing place right there. And then 1964, my parents got together, but I'm a weird-ass combination, you gotta figure it out. My mother's a Jewish girl from New York, and my father's Iranian, but somehow I came out Puerto Rican. And, not a scientist, I don't know how to have it, just Jello and Green Bay Blue, baby, Jello and Green Bay Blue. People think I make that up. Who the hell would make that up? What do I have to get it? I'm Jewish and Iranian. I gotta throw rocks at myself. This sucks. Like there are self-hating Jews, but this is on a whole nother level right here. This is some holy war shit I got inside of me. Just 10,000 years just bubbling. I make weird noises for no reason. Like, oi. They don't even go together right there. Sorry to drop that. It's no way. Navy SEAL team will be here in 4 minutes. And I don't want to make you uncomfortable. I'm not that kind of Iranian. I was born here. I watch Webster. I know the A-team. I'm just like you. Have to be half Iranian. And I never even really feel Iranian unless I'm at airport security. Then I feel real fucking Iranian every time. Every time. I get randomly searched every time. And I'm not saying that's wrong. You live in a crazy new world. You gotta check people that look like me and got my last name. Because I'm not saying all Middle Eastern people are terrorists. But all terrorists are Middle Eastern people. So you better check my shit. I'm serious. I insist. I'm serious. I'm only half. I'm suspicious about myself. I'm serious. I don't know where I've been all the time. Not all the time. I could have a sleeper cell. It could be a sleeper cell. It could just come out when I sleep. Or it could be napping. We don't know really. You just have to watch what words you say around me. Just like Yahtzee, quadrillion, you don't know right there. Just, so you keep an eye on me because I know you will take me down right there. Right? Take me down, sleep cell right there. Jewish Iranian. My mother never knew big deal was because I have some tattoos. And when I got my first tattoo, my mother goes, "Oh great, now you can't be buried in a Jewish cemetery." You think that's the reason I can't be buried in a Jewish cemetery? The fact that you're banging the Ayatollah over there might have something to do with it. I haven't seen the checklist to get into this Jewish heaven, but I don't think my symbol for happiness is my biggest problem. I don't think it'll come up in the interview. They don't make it that far. And now people like 19 things, and I think that's progress, right? We're finding a way to love each other. I think we'll get better at it, right? And my family, we're doing our part. We're inventing new species of people. Yeah, my sister's married to a black guy. Yeah, my nephew came out 75% Obama. Pretty damn good right there. I don't know what your standards are, but that ain't bad right there. With a Jewish kicker, right? Like I know he's never going to become president, but I guarantee he qualifies for grant money because sure, the son of a bitch can check every box. Yeah. Pacific Islander, why the fuck not? I'm all that shit, baby. I'm all that shit. I don't know why 5-year-olds sound like Barry White, but he is very sexy for his age. He's very, very sexy. Typical 5-year-old though, just like every other 5-year-old in America, addicted to the technology, right? 5 years old, got his own iPod Touch. When I was 5 years old, I didn't have my own Viewmaster. I had to share with my brother. We each got one eye, just... Scooby-Doo, where are you? Somebody got to tell the 20-somethings go to Viewmaster. Looking at me like, what the hell is that? That's a CD-ROM of my generation right there. That's it, man. We loved the Viewmaster, right? We had no idea it was a piece of shit. All of our toys suck. We ain't know the difference. See what little kids get to play with now? Oh, they got good toys now. Virtual reality, DVD, CD-ROM, computer games. And what do they always say? They're bored. They don't know what bored is. You spend all day in your room with a freaking Etch-a-Sketch. That's bored. You can't make shit from the back of this box. What the hell are they talking about? A farm? All I can make is stairs. That's what the fuck I can make is stairs. They should call this toy the Stairmaster. I don't know what they're talking about. Etch-a-Sketch. I cannot Etch-a-Sketch anything, but make the shit out of some stairs. I'll tell you that right there. Oh, thank you. You spend a rainy day with a light bright. That's as bored as it gets right there. What a piece of shit this is. Why doesn't somebody kill me? I'd rather be in school. And that's why we smoked so much pot in the 60s and 70s. Right? Because Light Bright was a much better toy if you were high. Look, I made a chicken, chicken. I got the munchies. Where's that Easy Bake Oven? Where's that Sunday child? Bake me a pie. Oh, the light bulb in the Easy Bake Oven is out. Oh, there's a light bulb in the Light Bright. I don't believe a 4-year-old should have so many toys that have light bulbs. Now, all of our shit was dangerous, wasn't it? Right? Every toy we had was dangerous. It's amazing any of us lived, just so you know, right? We beat the odds. I looked them up, right? Every toy had a sharp edge on it, right? Lawn darts was a game. Every kid in the neighborhood was armed with a BB gun with a license to shoot you in the head if they wanted. You're in a soapbox derby in some contraption your half-drunk father built on a Sunday with no training and only shit he had lying around the garage. We are 18 years before the helmet's even invented for children. He is pushing you down a hill, not just any hill, the biggest hill in town, usually nicknamed Dead Boys Hill. I got 7 kids, I can lose one, win me a trophy! Every toy was dangerous, right? Only power source, you had to plug it in the wall, remember that? Remember the vibrating football game? Just we didn't even play, we just watch it, just I think he's gonna score, no he's not. And I love the vibrating football game. I could never play with it. My sister was always using it at the time. That's just a good old-fashioned vibrator joke right there. That is fun for any age. That's good for the whole family right there. That's okay. I didn't know back then. I just thought my sister was a hell of a football fan because she was holding and hollering, woo! Woo! Now I'm getting mad. Give that toy back. You're having more fun with it than me. Yes, I am. Woo! I think he's going to score. Yes, he did. Alright, but our parents never got mad at us. You had shitty toys too, right? Like what you had to play with in the 50s, like a stick, right? That's all that you had. You ever seen any of those old movies like, go outside, take your Christmas stick with you? Unless you're a rich kid, then you got a horse's head on top of your stick. And you ride that sumbitch through town, just waving at poor kids like you're Prince William. You guys know, how many of you guys have kids? Kids, my boys, kids, or grandkids, or great-grandkids, kids? You know, they're some lazy bastards, aren't they, these kids? I can't even freaking believe it. Like when I was a kid, we had to go out and mine coal or anything, but still, you had to help around the house, rake some leaves, wash a car, do some chores. These kids don't want to do shit. Just a bunch of hustlers and grifters. That's what you got in your house. Little 4-year-old con man working the kitchen. Trying to screw you out in a Nintendo DS. Even though he lost the last one. They always got a scheme with something going, don't they, right? You ever really look into a little kid's eyes? I mean, past the cuteness and the adorableness, they always got to look like they're about to fuck you out of something. I'm serious. Because they know they can use their cuteness to get what they want. Now, they know that shit. They'll work grandparents to death. Oh, my God. They're like little strippers. That's what they are, little strippers. All glittery and shit. That ain't a coincidence. That distracts your mark. Look it up in the stripper handbook, front page. Buy me something I don't deserve. Buy it for me. Because I want it. I know it's not my birthday, but I want it. When we were kids, you only asked for something twice a year. That was it. Your birthday and Christmas. And if your birthday landed on Christmas, you got fucked. We all knew that. That's the price you paid for having a birthday with the Lord right there. Now these some bitches want something because it's Tuesday. You must be out of your mind. And they have all the energy in the world till you ask them to do something. Then all of a sudden they're narcoleptic, just, I'm too tired to pick up my toy. Oh, the suffering. Oh, look at my little legs. I'm allergic to everything. Is that a peanut? Someone call 911. Tell my mom I love her. Soft little bastards, aren't they? Allergic to everything. I used to eat paste. I'm not allergic to shit. But a sunflower seed will take baby Zachary down. How? When? Why? The plant has become the enemy. Nuts and seeds and cashew. I hope all the countries find out about this shit. If they want to invade us, they won't have to drop bombs. Just drop trail mix. People be running through the streets. Oh my God, they're dropping trail mix. Tell my mom I love her. Oh shit, they got gluten. They're dropping gluten. We have no defense for your sticky fibers, gluten. You have not yet developed an antidote to defeat the evil mother. I don't know if this gluten shit is true, but if it is, we got to worry about the French more than anyone else. Well, look how many baguettes they got. They'll just march right into town with them. Take that, you Americans. I defeated you with a $5 foot long. I do know these kids don't listen anymore. Like your kid may listen, but collectively these kids don't listen, right? Sometimes I see an exchange between a parent and a kid. I wouldn't know who the damn parent was, who the damn kid was, right? And every time I see it, the only thing I think of, this shit never would have flown when we were kids, right? No, not. But now you tell a kid to do something, he either does it or he doesn't, right? But there's no longer any repercussions. And most of us come from a time of repercussions. Some that led to actual concussions. You know what I'm talking about, right? We don't talk about this shit in public. We pretend like it never happened, like the Jerry curl, but there's every part of our history, we just put it down in our hurt locker and pretend like it never happened. To protect you 20-somethings from knowing how the world used to be a very short time ago. But I don't know if you heard any rumors, but our parents used to beat the shit out of us. Right? And I'm not talking about an after-school special kind of way. We just thought that was parenting, right? Remember you couldn't sit down the next day, you're like, wow, she really loved me yesterday. I hope to Christ she didn't love me that much today. I can't handle this much love in my life, right? Because I'm not talking about like a spanking, I'm talking about an ass whooping. They beat the shit out of us like they didn't know it was illegal. Yeah. My mother had a pool cue, we didn't even have a pool table. It was weird, like she was Joe Clark. Lean on me, I'm Batman. And I'm not saying it's right, I'm just saying it happened and it was effective, but the shit at the end though, right? Because very confusing to a small child because that's your mother, right? And the reason my mother had the pool cue is sometimes we would hide under the bed, so she would take the pool cue and she would jam it under the bed to get at us, and I'm just saying it's very confusing because that's your mother. You're like, didn't you just bake me a pie? How the fuck did we get here? This is a scene from Midnight Express or something. I haven't seen that movie yet, but I cannot imagine a Turkish prison is any worse than this shit. And then sometimes you catch him at shift change when your father just come home from work, right? He didn't even ask any questions. He just pick up the pool cue, start beating your ass. I don't even know which one of you sons of bitches is under there. Just want to come home from work, have my 14th scotch of the day, because that's how it used to be, right? You could drink at work and then the secretary, the good old days. And this one was Walter Cronkite, yeah, fucked it up. And I'm not saying it's right, I'm just saying it happened and it was effective, you know. Yeah, but I'll tell you how effective, I'll tell you that right now. So I'm a little kid, I'm like 8 years old, and I'm playing with fireworks with my little friend, because that's what 8-year-olds did back then. And even to this day, I do not know which one of our fireworks started the fire. But one of them jumps in the neighbor's bushes go on fire, and I just go home tractor beam for the ass whooping. I go, let me get this shit out of the way and try to salvage the weekend. Maybe I'll be out by Sunday right there, right? Because I know I was going to get my ass whooped because I saw the guy in the house go for the phone, right? Because back then in the neighborhood, everybody had everybody's number, right? You didn't have to send my mother a friend request. I am, your son burned down my shit. No, he called her, your son burned down my shit. And sure enough, I go home, she's waiting for me in the street with the pool cue, because sometimes back then they would beat us publicly like we were Malaysian or something. And she's beating the shit out of me in the street. And the neighbors are not calling the police, they're just watching, because back then we only had 3 stations on TV. This was more interesting than anything on there. And she's beating the shit out of me. My father comes home, he beats the shit out of me. And the moral to this story is, even to this day, I've never burned down anybody else's house again. So, you know, as you said, I learned my lesson. I'm not in therapy or anything, but, you know, I'm okay with it. I made me who I am today. I won't change it. You can't, gotta replace it with something, you know? There's no more real parenting going on a, you know, global scale here, right? The kids whine all the damn time. Aren't they always whining? Right? What happened to I'll give you something to cry about? That shut us all up, right? Every single one of us knows how to cry through our nose. It's a skill we had to develop just to survive. Right? Because if you started crying, she would give you something to cry about, right? You had to hold it in. Bubbles and shit. Right? Your mom didn't negotiate with terrorists back then. No, she didn't. No, she drew a line in the sand. If it was you started crying, she would give you something to cry about. But not now. Now if a kid's uncomfortable for 2 seconds, they lose their shit. That's why they had to make the minivan so nice. Have you seen the back of a minivan lately? This shit gotta end. That's a child, not the governor. What the fuck they need all this shit for? I'm serious. And you are paying good hard-earned money to sedate that little bastard. Fuck him. Right? I'm serious. I'm serious. Well, it's a child. This is like car. He doesn't need a plasma TV, leather couches, a wet bar. You sitting up there, that seat hasn't changed in 30 years. You got 8-track, they got Blu-ray in the back. Screw you, driver. And all of us know better, right? We grew up with a station wagon. I went cross-country sitting like this. And no one gave a shit. I'm sitting in the middle of a spare tire. I'm holding the crowbar. This can't be safe. Sit there for hours and hours. If you're old enough and you know, this was on Entertainment Center right here. 3,000 miles of this shit and it never got old. Woo-hoo, he did it again. 10-4, good buddy. I got rotator cuff problems to this day from this shit. What else could it be from? One other thing it could be from. Remember that schmuck seat back there? Well, you knew you weren't the favorite kid, you were sitting back there. Even the kid on the hump was making fun of your ass. Ha ha! At least I'm facing forward, bitch. Remember the hump? Remember the hump? Remember we had to sleep on the floor with the hump? Remember that? Slept sound as shit on the hump, didn't you? Got a $3,000 Tempur-Pedic that got tossed and turned all night, but on the hump. Sound of the transmission was soothing. It was like being in the womb, right? The gas came up through the floorboards and knocked you out a little bit, right? They knew what they were doing. They just stuck us anywhere, right? Your sister sleeping on the windshield shelf in the back window. No one is buckled up. Not one person, right? Those cars didn't even have real seatbelts. They just had the whole family dies together seatbelt. Remember that one? One of us goes, we all go. Remember that one? Thelma and Louise before Thelma and Louise? Not now. Now the kids in their car seat, right? Car seat, great invention, you know, but I think that's what messed with these kids' head a little bit. I mean, they sit in that chair like it's their little throne, don't they? You've all experienced it, I know you have, right? They just sit there, they give a shit you're driving a car at 70 miles an hour. It's all about them. They just sit back, barking out demands like they're Caesar, just... I believe I need a juice box. Please, some goldfish, my men. Saying I'm finding Nemo, he amuses me. 5 minutes later, take him away. I've grown tired. Bring me the one they call SpongeBob. Mac and cheese, motherfucker, mac and cheese. Could you imagine if you talked to your father that way while he was driving, right? Tell me it's not just me, right? Not just me? He would put everyone's lives in danger to get at your ass, you son of a bitch. Over nothing. Stop touching your brother. Stop touching your brother. You want me to pull this car over? I wish you would. You're going to kill us all, you lunatic. We're all in the back seat like it's the Matrix. And every once in a while, he get all three of you with one smack, and that's what encouraged the crazy bastard. But I wouldn't change one thing about how we grew up. Would you want to change? Would you want to grow up now? Right? It was beauty to that dysfunction, right? It worked for us. Made us who we are, and I love who we are. Never really want to be a kid. One time I want to be a kid. It's breakfast time, right? Breakfast time would be a great time to be a kid again, right? Eat whatever cereal you want, that'd be nice, right? Captain Crunch. You know they get a box now just of Crunch Berries? Have you seen this shit? Remember we had to pick them out one at a time like we were Crunch Berry harvesters or something? It don't matter. I eat one Crunch Berry now, I'll go into a diabetic coma. Be like, how long was I out? Who won American Idol? That bitch won. Can't eat whatever I want anymore. I'm 46. I'm making my peace with that shit right there. That's why I hate the Food Network. Because the Food Network, whole network devoted to people over 40. Yet none of us really can eat the food on the Food Network. Not if you want to live. I cannot go to a diner, a drive-in, or a dive. If I do, I will go to a funeral home, I assure you. Can't go on no donut paradise. If I just walk past Krispy Kreme and the light comes on, it's like, bloop. Bloop. Turn your light off, you son of a bitch. I got memory foam over here or something. I don't know. It knows we used to come here. Yeah. That's why I'm glad they got rid of that Paula Deen home cooking. Where that woman killed someone. Right? If you were over 40, you could not eat anything Paula Deen cooked. You should do the opposite. That bitch would deep fry a salad. She didn't care. Butter is not supposed to be an appetizer. We all got the memo on this, right? She deep fried everything and it looked so delicious. One day I was sitting on the couch, she deep fried a Twinkie. And I came. And there is no way to prepare you for that joke, people. There really isn't. I mostly do that joke for me, just to see that look on your face. Because first it's a Twinkie joke, that's so quick, it's not a Twinkie joke. But I gotta make sure you still listen, and if you are, that joke don't get by it, because we gotta prove something. Reason you guys came out on a Saturday night, Valentine's Day. Give yourselves a round of applause. By the way, thank you so much again. I live to do this show for you guys, and I hope you're enjoying it, but we have to prove 40 is not the new 20, right? If not for all the reasons we've talked about already, physically, 40 cannot be the new 20. How old are you, sir?
68.
Holy shit, I was thinking maybe 50s. Holy cow, are you American? Right? Oh, we got stem cells where you live? How the fuck are you doing? Goddamn, that one threw me right there. It's Goliath. How old? 42, see, that's what I'm looking for. 40 is all I'm saying. You look fantastic, too. I was thinking maybe 30s. I can't tell because I can only see parts of you. And, but do you remember your 20-year-old body? Does everybody remember your 20-year-old body, right? It is never coming back. We all understand this, right? I don't care what phrase we come up with. You're better off just yelling Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice at it. See if that helps. That 20-year-old body was amazing. Resilient as shit. I hit one of these 20-somethings with a car, they pop right up, we fist pump, and they won't even miss the party. I assure you, if you're over 40, I hit you with a car, you won't stay down. We'll all be laying on the pavement screaming, Affleck! need your reflector. I've been hit by a car. I ain't never going back to work. I knew that already. You're gonna start writing me some checks and people are coming. Our worst fears have been realized. Or the insurance starts to make a little bit more sense after 40, right? You start looking at life insurance commercials with a lot more interest after 40. Remember when you're in your 20s, you see a life insurance commercial, you're like, what kind of asshole would buy life insurance? I'm gonna be dead, who gives a shit? Now I'm 46 with a baby, and I'm like, that soft-spoken man make a lot of valid points. Yes, he does. What is that number again? 16 cents a day. That's the least I could do for these people. I'd be an asshole. 40, not the new 20. When I was in your 20s, all you care about is your looks, right? After you've turned 40, you care about your looks, but it's more like, look at that. I don't think that shit was there yesterday. What is that? Honey, come check me again. It's back. Come check me again. Huh? And if you're married and you're over 40, you're just like a couple of gorillas grooming each other. Well, this one is suspicious. Hold on, wait. Get a poster. We got to keep an eye on this one right here. I don't like the coloring. I don't like the coloring. Wait, go get that wheel from Home Depot with the paint. I got to match this shit. Oh, yeah, chartreuse. That ain't good. Wait, I'm going to take a picture, send it to my mother. She knows about this shit. See, 40 is not the new 20. When you're in your 20s, you're taking pictures of your woo-woo and sending it to people, right? After 40, you're taking pictures of skin tags, rashes, moles. And if you are over 40, you decide you want to take a picture of your woo-woo, please do not do it with one of these new phones. Nobody wants to see our shit in HD. Maybe you still got a flip phone, you can get away with that shit. That picture's a little grainy still. It looks like there's a Buddha film. That's what that looks like. You don't know if it's a penis or the grassy knoll. 40 is not the new 20. We gotta prove that shit now once and for all. I know we got a group of young ladies over here in their 20s. Do I have any 21-year-old boys? That sounds a little gay, didn't it? But the 21-year-old boys, yeah, we got some over here. Yeah, look at them over there. Who's the younger one? That sounded even gay. Which one of you is the younger one? Of the boys? How old are you, young man? 25. 25. Okay, we're gonna prove right now that 40 is not the new 20. 25. What's your name? Sam. We're gonna prove right now. Sam, 25. When you go to the doctor, how concerned with this area is he? You don't even understand the fucking question, do you, Sam? You see that? See that scared look on his face too? Like, why is he gonna touch me down there? That's my naughty place. Stranger danger, stranger danger. No. Well, young Sam, I am the ghost of Christmas future. One day you're gonna be visited by a man with a glove. He is not there to play catch, I assure you, He is more of a pitcher in this situation. We must label things because I'm 46. I go to the doctor now, he can't wait to get to this area. I can go to the doctor with a gunshot wound. I gotta put my finger in your ass first. I gotta put my finger in your ass first. The gunshot wound can wait, but there's something that ass that's gonna get you. This may be true. My only question is, it is 2015. How can this still be the best way you had to check my ass? Lexus has a car that can park itself. Better get you a cell phone with an app or something. And what is this one for? Second opinion? Why would you need two? That would only interfere with the examination. I would like to know who received your formal training. The hell you mean you're a dentist? The diploma's not real. Last time I go on Craigslist for something like this, I swear to God. 40 is not the new 20. No shit, I'm falling apart like an old Buick, right? Just duct taping shit, trying to hold on. That's the problem, see? 40 should be the new 20. I'm 46. I got an extra 26 years of mileage on my vehicle. Shit gonna rattle. Shit gonna rattle. And just so you know, if you're over 40, you walked in here rattling. Right? We're all rattling now, right? We all got something. We don't got the same shit, but we are now defined by our ailments, right? We could play a grown-up game of paper, scissors, rocks. Like, what do you got? I got high blood pressure and the gout. What do you got? I got acid reflux and ED. You win. ED wins every time, just so you know. It's my game. Somebody got to make the rules, but that ED, that's a bad one. That's a bad one. You know you got a bad disease when they just use the initials to describe it, right? They don't even tell you the whole thing anymore. There's ED. You know what that stands for? Erectile dysfunction. You know what that means in English? You and your penis ain't friends no more. That is no place any of us want to be, right? Because you and your penis used to be pals. You know, we used to go on adventures. Get into all sorts of hijinks. Now the son of a bitch won't listen to reason. It's me. Let me tell you about my best friend. He's a one kind of ups and downs, my fine Coach Everybody's party. But don't worry, if you had the ED, don't worry, no fear. They have a pill for you like everything else, but they give you something called Cialis. And Cialis don't even make any sense to me because Cialis lasts 2 days. How the hell you know when you're going to get horny? I'm saying, what happens after the grocery store? Now you're knocking plums over, scaring children. Nobody wanted this. This is not fun. This is not fun. The guy gets on the loudspeaker and says, guess that guy really likes produce. I guess so. I didn't know this was going to set it off. I watched the commercial. They didn't say shit about plums. They didn't say shit. And I listened to every word because he said I could bleed from my ears, but it was worth the risk. I wanted a hard on. And what's a little ear blood when you're getting some, right? That's old Navy term, I believe. That's the old Navy term. Right? 40, not the new 20. Can't see shit anymore. Anybody else all day long? This only happens in your 40s, right? Because you gave in, you got the glasses early, right? But in your early 40s, you fight it, right? Oh, I just got to eat more carrots. I got to eat a few more carrots. No. When you start doing this, you are going fucking blind. Just accept it, go to Walgreens, start at 1.75 and work your way up like the rest of us. Huh? Stop messing up people's day with your blindness. You ever try to eat a meal at a restaurant with one of these blind fucks? You ever do that? They got the menu that... He'll have the fish. Just go to fucking Walgreens, you blind bastard. Something will eventually push you over the edge. For me, it was I had to call the number on the back of my credit card one day. You ever have to do that? You don't have your glasses, you just turn it over. You're like, shit. Is that a birdhouse? Why would they have a birdhouse on that number? It's right next to a dragon. I swear to Christ, that's a dragon. It's a Chinese New Year credit card. Then you just try to get one number. That's it. Just like, okay, that's a 7. More triangle. 40 is not the new 20. I knew that shit right away. I was about to turn 40. I had my first old guy accident. The first time that shit's all downhill from here. I fell in the shower. Nothing makes you feel like an old piece of shit than falling in the shower. And my dumb ass, I reached for the shower curtain saying like, didn't even slow me down. And I hit the tub, and the first thing I could think of was that commercial. I've fallen, I can't get up. It's so no, that lady was real, right? And I cracked my head open right there, got 8 stitches. That's why I came up with the idea for this show. Because while I was sitting in the emergency room getting stitched up, all I kept thinking of was, why do people say 40 is the new 20? When I was in my 20s, I was having sex in the shower. Now I'm falling there by myself. When I was in my 20s, I've opened a bruise because the night before I was at a club and I dove off the bar and busted my ass on a speaker. Now if I wake with a bruise because I slept funny, the shit ain't the same thing. People have hair on my shoulders. Nothing says your spring break is over than a couple of throwback Afro puffs on your shoulders. And now they're turning gray. Take off my shirt, I look like an Oakland Raider fan. I'm like, holy shit, I'm in the nation. Can't listen to music I want to listen to. Sam, 25. What kind of music you like, Sam? Rock? What, Justin Bieber? What's a rock to you guys? I don't know. Rock like old rock, like Led Zeppelin and Rush and that kind of stuff? Or Metallica. Okay, so grunge. Heavy metal. That's more heavy metal. But it doesn't matter. You're 20, you're 20. You can still relate to all kind of music, right? You better appreciate that because I'm 46. I still like hip hop. But in my head, I just hear, sitting at the dock of the bay. Oh, look how excited he got. Look at how excited. We should go tomorrow, you and me. We watch the tide roll away. I think that sounds like a pretty good Sunday. We will bring him to. And, I can't do any more of these hip-hoppy things. I know that. The usher's got a song. I'm gonna make love in the club. Baby, I'm gonna make love in the club. Oh, no, I'm not. 46 years old, I got a big stomach and a fun-sized penis. I'm not. Trick or treat, even so much. It's just this I'm not making love in any clubs. Maybe Sam's Club. That might be on place. Maybe Sam's Club. Eat a few samples, get in the mood. Ooh, they have full-size mozzarella sticks. That is sexy. That is sexy. Yeah, Costco will give you half. I don't know why. They're so chintzy with their shit. But yeah, get a box of Cheerios I can sit on. I get some work done. Yeah, Sam, this is exciting as sex gets after 40 right here. This is a pretty vigorous pace I worked myself into, right? Because look at this gentleman. He's like, slow down, man. Slow down. It's such a hurry for you, man. Because that sex changes after 40. Not the desire for sex. The desire for sex will always be there. I'm just saying physically, what we can get ourselves into has become limited. I got 3 positions left. This is not one of them. I don't have a grand piano at home, so you know. See how the other half is doing it right here. You know, this is, I don't know how you guys roll, but if you have the means, I recommend you get one. Get some leverage on this thing. That's why I love the sex stories of the young people. They're like science fiction to me now. I can't imagine a world where this shit happens. You ever hear the sex stories from a young person? I'm gonna have sex for 4 hours. 4 hours? Go fuck yourself, 4 hours? Does that sound fun to anyone over 40? 4 hours of sex? That sound like a half a day of work is what 4 hours sounds like. What you young people trying to accomplish, huh? I can fly cross country in 4 hours. Gotta figure out what you're doing, get there quicker or something, I don't know. I've seen enough Viagra commercials. They say if you have an erection less than 4 hours, you're supposed to call the police or something. You need to alert the CDC or find your old priest and a young priest. The shit's gotta come down. It has to. It's serious, Sam. I'm serious. It happens. You break into a church, you put it in the holy water. It burns, I know, but you gotta get the evil out. You know, save the rest of us, please. That's why I tell my wife, we're gonna have sex for 3 minutes. Then we're gonna sleep for 3 hours and 57 minutes. Now that does sound good. Does that not sound nice to everyone in the room, right? 3 hours and 57 minutes of sleep, oh my God. That's why we wake up with a heart on, because sleep is that damn good. Give yourselves a round of applause. You guys were a joy, literally a joy. I tell you, I live for these Saturday night shows. You guys were great. Did you enjoy the show? Did you enjoy the show? Very important to me. I know probably not the show you were expecting, but Columbus wasn't expecting America. That worked out for all of us. But it's an important show. I really do think we have to talk about some of the things in this show, because I think, you know, we've lost our way a little bit in our world, right? You know what I mean? Think about it. How old are you, sir? 80. Come on, geez. 80. Give him a round of applause. Look at this guy. 80 years old. You look fantastic. I was not expecting 80 at all. But think about it. Your generation, you guys cracked the code. When you grew up, you had nothing, right? You were so happy. We have everything, and we're freaking miserable, right? We have lost our way. We've lost our appreciation, our perspective, and this generation has it. They cracked the code. Think about it. You saw a man walk on the moon when nobody thought that shit was possible. That is